Students often feel left in the dark about campus events and opportunities. And that's true everywhere though. Whether it's holiday planning with your family or an upcoming church event, communication is hard everywhere because as college students we're often busy and we live in an oversaturated, noisy world. This podcast, along with our weekly email, is designed to solve that problem. The Williams Pulse podcast gives you the scoop on campus and insights straight from your fellow students, so you can finally stop asking your roommate what's going on this week, and instead, you can impress them with your newfound knowledge, because by listening each week, you will know what's going on at WBU. By tuning into the Williams Pulse podcast, you're not just getting information, you're becoming part of a vibrant community that celebrates awareness and involvement, enabling you to show up at events informed and ready to connect with your peers. So whether you're a student seeking updates, a parent wanting to stay in the loop, or an alumnus nostalgic for days on campus, join us as we amplify the voices of our university and make every episode an opportunity for deeper involvement. Hey, before we get into the news, we recently sent out a survey asking students what they would like to see change with the Williams Pulse podcast. We were shocked by the amount of responses, and we are going to begin this week by implementing some of those changes. The first change is a big one. Each week from now on, we are going to be releasing not one, but 2 episodes, a shorter episode and a longer episode. You're listening to the shorter episode right now, and I'm your host, Truett Brannon, and I will be here each week along with a brand new voice to the podcast, Natalie Collier. Welcome, Natalie.
Hey guys, I'm Natalie. I'm a freshman here at Williams Baptist, and I'm majoring in marketing. I'm also a part of the Williams Baptist volleyball team, and I work a lot with the business program.
Today's guest is a fellow student, Melanie Jones. Each of these shorter episodes will continue to have a weekly guest who will help us with the news, events, etc. And we will continue the interviews.
Here's another big change. You all asked for longer episodes and more narrative-driven content. So each week, you'll get a chance to hear from staff member Bill Jeffrey and fellow freshman Kinsman Pryor as they do a longer format interview with students, faculty, and staff. I'm not sure who their first guest will be, but you'll get to hear from everyone: administration, new faculty members, maintenance staff, student athletes, student musicians, and more. I know Kinsman and Bill listen to several podcasts weekly that are 3+ hours, but I have it on good authority that they don't think anyone on campus is that interesting, nor worth 3 hours of their time. Kidding. But seriously, these longer episodes will probably be around 45 minutes. We will see how this unfolds.
From all of us at the Williams Pulse, thank you for completing those surveys. And if you'd like to throw in your opinion, it's not too late. Go to williamsbu.edu/the Williams Pulse, and you can contribute to the conversation there.
If you're not a student yet, but you either were sent this podcast or stumbled upon it, thank you for listening today. And if you want to be on the podcast, we have 2 preview days coming up: Friday, February 7th and Friday, February 28th. Visit williamsbu.edu/preview to reserve your spot for the event. And we will have time where you can drop into the studio with us and be a voice on the next episode. Again, that's williamsbu.edu/preview. Check out the show notes too for more information.
Did either of you ladies come to a preview day?
No. I didn't.
I came to one and it was fantastic. The food slaps.
I came on a tour and it was pretty cool. I got to meet, actually that's where I met Bill, and I met some of the other music people.
Yeah, I came to a tour, but they didn't give me food, so maybe I'm missing out on the preview days.
You are missing out. Usually they have barbecue and mac and cheese.
Fire.
Let's go ahead and dive into the Williams news and events for the week. On Monday, we're having Women's Open Dorm at 7 p.m., and that following Thursday, we're having Men's Open Dorm at 7 p.m. What is Open Dorm?
Open dorm is a time where men or women can go into each other's dorm and have fun, and it's the only time allowed on campus, so make sure you use that time wisely.
There's usually always a theme too, like we'll do donuts in the dorm and we'll do like cereal night, so make sure you come and take advantage of all the fun things that happen in the dorms.
Melanie, go ahead and tell us what's happening on Tuesday.
Yeah, for sure. So on Tuesday, Williams is holding a Trivia Tuesday, and those are always fun. I always enjoy them, and I recommend to show up and play some trivia.
And on Friday, we're having kickball in the SMC. Go ahead and tell us what the athletic events are happening this week.
So on Tuesday, we have 2 home games, men and women's basketball. Women's against Central Baptist and men's against Crowley's Ridge. Women's at 5:30 and men's at 7:30. And on Wednesday, the cheerleaders head to Orlando, Florida for the UCA Cheerleading Nationals. So that'll be an awesome send-off. And then Thursday, we have men and women's basketball on the road heading to Hannibal LaGrange. And then finally on Saturday, the women's basketball team plays at Cotty, while the men's wrestling team have duels here at home with times to be announced. All right, let's jump into some hot takes. Hot take.
This hot take was submitted by yours truly, Melanie Jones. She said,
So my hot take is that the NBA should lower their rims for more dunks.
That is actually like a good idea, but don't you think it would make it not as cool?
No. Okay,
well, then everyone would be able to do it.
No. So hear me out. So you pay all that money to sit like courtside or even like nosebleed at an NBA game. I want some action. I need some energy. Like I could watch a high school basketball game or a college basketball game and watch anybody like shoot a ball from the 3-point line. Like, no thanks. If I'm going to pay that much money, I want to see LeBron James hanging from the rim every time he has the ball in his hands. And not everybody can dunk. I mean, obvious. Like,
look at us.
Sorry, Truett. If you were a basketball star, you were not dunking. I'm sorry. Because they wouldn't lower it that much. Just like a wee bit.
Us short kings would thrive, though.
Like, just enough to where the tall guys could do what tall guys do.
Isn't that right, Natalie?
And for that, we get snaps. Now we're going to move on into College Hacks, which was also sent in by Melanie Jones herself.
Hey!
You want to go ahead and read that for us?
Yeah, for sure. So my college hack is to prioritize yourself and your schoolwork. And I know that sounds pretty much like straightforward, but I know... So I'm a sophomore, and for sure my freshman year was really challenging, like mentally, physically. Like people really don't... Like, they're not lying when they say college is so much different than high school, and I think freshmen don't really, like, acknowledge that until it's a little bit too late, especially if you're, like, a college athlete or you're in singers or praise or anything like that. Like, it's really hard to multitask, and I don't think people talk about it enough.
Absolutely.
On that note, how do you take time to prioritize yourself?
It's really easy to get wrapped up in all the events that happen here at Williams and trying to be as involved as possible, but it's definitely important for me to take a step back and make sure that before I go to the basketball game that I have all my homework done, and before I say yes to hang out with my friends on the weekends or after class, that I prioritize myself and make sure my mental health is in line and I'm in check and that all my schoolwork is done before I prioritize anything else.
As we come back for this new semester, what are you most looking forward to?
Definitely new faces among all the familiar ones that I've already met. It's really cool to see all the transfers coming in and people who are just now starting this semester, and it's really nice to meet new friends and meet new people and experience all these college things together.
On to the next. You were talking about you love seeing the new transfer students. Well, as you yourself a transfer, if you were to design a new student survival kit, what 3 things would you include?
Number 1, I would definitely say like a planner. I have an iPhone, and on my phone I use like the calendar that comes with it, and I like take advantage of that. Like there's a setting where you can go and add like multiple calendars into it, and you can label them. So I have like a work calendar, a school calendar, an athletic calendar, and I just like make sure anytime something happens that I'm always writing it down so I never miss a beat. Everything's always turned in on time. Okay, this sounds so cliche, but like bring your Bible. I'm so thankful that we go to like a Christian college where like God is put like as number 1 priority, because I love going to chapel and like being able to like sit down with your friends and your professors and like being able to just like take that time to just like honestly like reflect on like how we got here and like why we're here, and like we're all here for the same reason. And I think that's really important. And I don't know what the 3rd thing would be.
I think my 3rd thing would be is headphones, because you'll always like...
Oh, I'm over here being like really like, what's the word? I don't even know, like being really like heartfelt, and you're like headphones. Yeah. I'm like, bring your Bible, and you're like, bring your AirPods.
That's good. But I feel like when I'm in my room and I have like, when I'm trying to lock in, headphones are like the only thing. Like my AirPods are top tier.
Absolutely.
I prioritize the Lord and you prioritize Apple Music, but it's fine.
So, Melanie, what is your go-to I'm broke for real food?
Velveeta mac and cheese in the cups. I use them in the microwave in the Sutherland lobby, and it hits every time.
Absolutely. Have you ever tried the hot Cheeto mac and cheese?
Absolutely not. That would hurt my tummy.
Oh, that's so valid.
Does it taste like hot Cheetos?
Yes, it does.
True. What's your go-to?
My go-to is probably popcorn. I mean, a good popcorn.
Popcorn with jalapenos.
Ooh. The popcorn with the white cheddar seasoning.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well...
Well, thank you so much, Melanie, for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
We enjoyed having you.
I enjoyed being here.
This has been
And will continue to be
the Williams Pulse.
Pulse.